Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of this game dev diary for my roguelike project. Last time I left you off at trying to make the player health system, and it was kind of like the health system that I made for Neon Peon. You can check that game out on iOS, and it had the power pods that were checking a scene behavior every, I think it was 0.1 of a second, to see if they needed to be off or on. And I was going to have the hearts doing the same sort of thing, but I thought there must be a better way of doing it, because that would use a lot of unnecessary processing power, because it would be checking when it didn't need to check. If there was a way to say when damage is done, tell the hearts to check rather than make the hearts check every certain amount of time, then it'd be much more efficient. So I dug around on Google, just searched a couple of random terms plus stencil for what I was looking for, and I think I might have come up with a better way of doing it. So I'm going to start changing what I created in the last video, not all of it, just some of it, for the health system, and hopefully it'll work and it'll be slightly more efficient than the way I was doing it last time. So when the damage done event happens, what we want to do is, for each actor of type health hearts, tell them to say that they need to check if their animation needs to change. So I found this kind of wrapper and it looks like something we might need to use. So, and then we put that in there, and then take actor of type, put it there, and set and what it was going to be, what anti-check. So we need to tell anti-check is true, and set attributes, and it's in the health heart behavior, and it's anti-check. Set anti-check to true. So that should do it for all the hearts when damage is done. So I think we can take this out for the minute, and we can start redoing the health heart behavior. So if any check is true, what we need to do then is start redoing what was in this wrapper, I think. So copy this, pull all this out, and I think we might as well just delete that. Set uncheck to false, that's correct. Paste if heart number is equal to, yeah, that makes sense, because this is identifying what is the last heart that we have. So if heart number is equal to what one we want to change, so it would be the last heart. This bit of math should do it. If this is equal to that, then we want to change animation. So we need to go into our health hearts and just call the animation something sensible. So we'll call this animation full. Call this animation half full or half empty. Are you a pessimist or an optimist? We'll call it half full. Have to look on the bright side of life. So half full. We'll call this empty. So full, half full, and empty. So if heart number is equal to, so if this is the active heart, then we need to say if the animation is equal to full so if current animation for self, if that is equal to full, then we want it to set it to half full, and if it's half full, we want it to set it equal to empty. Current is equal to full, and I think I spelled it with a capital F. Did I? I did, all capitals. So then we want to switch animation to half full. Hopefully that is right. No, I put the capital F in full. Otherwise, if animation is equal to half full, set it to empty. Copy this, paste it in, set it to empty. So that hopefully should set the animation right. We need to take the damage amount off the health, and we also, is that it? Player health, so once damage done. When did I say damage done happened? Was it on rat contact with the player character? That's what happens when you leave your game for a couple of times and you can't remember. So when attack damage happens, so that's the rat being killed. So where did I put the damage being done? Was it in player character? Behaviors. Oh, rat attack. That should have been it. So when self hits a player character, trigger event damage done on player health. For this scene, set amount of damage to 1 for player health. Okay. So we want to then go into and tell it that I don't think we need this anymore, so delete that. So we need the event. If any check is equal to true, set any to false. Okay, that's fair enough. Got that bit right. So we need to then take 1 off the health, don't we? So we need to go to attributes, lists, and replace item. Let's get item, I mean minus the damage. Should we do this in the health heart, or should we do this in the same behavior? Well, the damage is being defined in the scene behavior, so we should probably do it in the scene behavior. So do it in the scene behavior. We'll set up here item with, so copy this and then trash it and then player health. So when damage done happens, do that. Just trying to figure out the best and most efficient way of doing multiple damage. It'd be easy enough if it was just 1 health that was to disappear, but if you want to take more than 1, then you want to ensure that the events are done enough times. Well, you probably just want to do this. So replace item. So 4 loops, so you want to repeat the amount of damage times. So hopefully this will work. So repeat, and then didn't we set an attribute? Amount of damage. So repeat amount of damage times. Not sure if that's the best way of doing it, because I don't know if it would execute the code all at once or not. Well, we'll get it working with 1, and then we'll try and figure out the way of doing it with more than once, because this hopefully we'll have to ensure that we can get it working with one. So place item, and it would be 3 because it's current health, with get item as number. Let's get item 3 as number from, and go into our attributes list and get player health as number, and we want to take 1 away from it. Please don't be a nightmare to get in the box. That's okay. Just say take away 1, and again that's in player health. Is that everything? Health hearts. Might be, you know. Just have to ensure that everything's attached to the right actors and right scenes. So go to scene 1, open it and attach player health, which is already done. Sure, little ratty, or the little green dinosaur, has the attack, and we'll see what this does. So fingers crossed. Not quite sure what to expect. Dun, dun, dun. Well, our hearts are looking good, and then if we bump into it, nothing happens. Well, that's no good. Wonder if it's because of the collision groups are not set up right. I wonder what the log was saying. Should look at the log too. So we'll test again and look at the logs, and then we'll look also at the collision groups. So bump into it, escape, warning, behavior does not exist. So we don't have a maybe we haven't attached the heart to the behavior. Health hearts, do you have a behavior? You do not, and that's what's wrong. So there we go, first epic fail of the video. I kinda expect a few more, since we're kinda just making this up as we go along. And well, we have half a heart in one of our hearts, but it's the middle heart, so that was a bit not what we wanted. So something happened, but it wasn't what we were expecting. So why was that? So escape this, close that. Oh, with 2 windows open. Bet you that wasn't good for the frame rate, but okay. Heart number is equal to ceiling. So have we got the heart numbers right? When you create for last created actor, set heart number to +1. So we should have heart 1, 2, 3. And then for this, get item number 3 from player health as number, so that should be 6 divided by 2, so that should be heart number 3. And every animation should be full. So, why did it set the second heart? Gonna pause the video here and I'll resume it once I figure it out. Didn't take me that long to figure out what was going on. One mistake I had was I had this as the wrong behavior. I had it as health heart behavior instead of player health. So when it was meant to trigger event, do 1 damage, it didn't do that. And what was happening was that it only looked like 1 collision, but because the code executes, I think it's once every frame, which is 60 times a second, then multiple collisions were happening. It was taking off more than 1, so it was then jumping straight to the second heart. So what we did then was make it the character invulnerable for a second once it gets hit. So damage done can only happen if invulnerable is equal to false. And when we create it, we should set invulnerable equal to false. So once invulnerable is equal to false, so that means that you can be hurt. So on creation, if invulnerable is equal to false, for each player character, so each of the player characters, make them look negative, and then set invulnerable to true, so you can't be hurt again. And do after 1 second make him negative, so the proper color that he is normally, and set invulnerable to false. And then for each active health hearts, do any check to see if you need to change the animation for that heart. And if we go into health heart behavior, if any check is equal to true, then we set it equal to false straight away. And then, so that means it only does 1 check. And then what we do is then check to see if the heart number is equal to the heart number we're interested in for the according to the player health. And then we say if the current animation is full, set the current animation to half full. If the current animation is half full, set to empty. And then trigger event, do 1 damage in player health. And go to player health and we look at do 1 damage, and it's replace item 3, which is your current health value, take -1. So then if we show you what it looks like, then hopefully you can see. I'll probably change the hearts and make them a bit bigger because they're a bit small at the minute. But here's our player character. He runs into the rat. Oh, we haven't breakdancing still, but we can see that it now has half a heart. Then 1 whole heart's gone. Then second heart's half a heart. See if we can keep touching with them, and it only takes 1, and this that's seconds up, and then bang, all our hearts are gone, but we're not dead because we haven't told it to do anything once all our hearts are gone. So that's kind of the bare bones of the health system for us, and then the rats too. So what we need to figure out now then is how to do more than 1 damage. So I think we'll maybe set a counter to say where's the rat attack. So set amount of damage to, we'll say 2 this time. And what we'll do then is go into the player health and then go to this custom event, and we'll say set amount of damage to amount of damage -1, because we've changed 1 health heart value. And then we'll do a conditional saying if amount of damage is not equal to 0, do it again. So if is greater than 0, probably 0, and then get amount of damage. And then we want to set the any check equal to true for this. So we want to take this out, copy and paste it in here. So that should theoretically go through another loop of changing the heart animation and then take another one off the health. So hopefully when we test it this time, our health should go down a whole heart with 1 contact of the rat. Oh no, what happened is that it took all our hearts. So something was kind of right, but not quite. So now why did it do that? Set amount of damage. So rat attack. Okay, what we need to do then is place that in a loop. So we need to go back into player health and then say amount of damage temp, amount of damage temp, and then create it as a number. Say okay, and set amount of damage temp to that amount of damage. And then we do amount of damage temp in here because it probably was doing more than one collision, and that's why I just wiped our health out. So we're going to manage amount of damage temp because the amount of damage in it and the amount of damage temp setter is in that custom event, and that custom event should only happen once because it's in the invulnerable loop. And hopefully this will work, or it's going to be another epic fail. So fingers crossed, everybody. Will this work? Come on, please just take one heart. No, it took only half. No, why was that? That took all the hearts. Well, I'm going to leave it there with our little player character spinning with no hearts and the amount of damage kind of up the left. Who knows what's going on? And I will hopefully get to fixing it in the next video. So as always, thanks for watching. Hopefully it's helpful to anyone using Stencil or looking to get involved in developing a game. And if you have comments or any suggestions that you'd like to see in this game, please leave it in the comments. Okay, thanks. Thank you folks again, and catch you later.